So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go follow 10 people on Instagram. So one of the ways that I use is I don't do hashtags because to me that's like people that are looking for business. So I find a person to follow that I really relate to that has a lot of people, like has a lot of followers and they get a lot of likes. So like I use Risen Motherhood occasionally, Jamie Ivey, just people like that you like really feel like everything they say is like, that's so good. And I go into their last post and I click on the people that have liked it. And then I look for the ring around their picture to see if they have Instagram stories. And the reason why that's what I look for is because that tells me right away that the profile is public. They're at least somewhat active because they've had posts in the last 24 hours. And then I go and like 3 or 4 of their posts, comment on one, and follow them. And I just find 10 of those. So if you have a different method, does anyone have a different method that works for you for finding people to follow?
Did you say you just go to the search bar?
No. So I find a person that I like, that I follow. So what's like a famous or like author, somebody that you really like?
Oh, I don't know.
Or somebody's post that's
Tim
like,
Tebow.
what?
Yeah. Alex says Tim Tebow.
Okay, maybe not Tim Tebow. Like I really like who's somebody else too? Lisa TerKeurst.
Oh, that's who I just looked up.
Well, and that's fine. Go for her. I went today, but so that's like I'll go to her last post, and then I will I'll look at the people that liked it. And that's where I search to see if they have stories, and then I like comment on 5 things and follow them. Okay. So this usually only takes me about 10 minutes. So it's something just quick, and I just go to a different person each day. So let's go ahead and do that.
How about you need my kitty bed?
What?
How about you need my kitty bed?
Should I make a pillow kitty bed for you?
Yeah. Down below.
Okay, stay right there.
This? I want this. This is for my son. I want this one.
Emma Jane, stop.
How many are we doing?
The goal is 10, but we're just doing it for 10 minutes. So. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do is called compliment and run. So you're gonna just go into 10 people's feed and send them a private message and just give them a genuine compliment. So maybe it's somebody you've developed a relationship but never invited before, or maybe it's somebody you've never talked to before but you've been like wanting to like get to know them more, if you will. But just, this is not an invite. This is just a compliment and run. And if I were, I would personally track these people. Like I'd write down their names so that then I can follow up and start having conversations with them, to develop that relationship so I could invite them. I a lot of times do it based off of my stories, like people that are watching my stories, but it can be anything. So we're going to do that for 10 minutes.
Okay, mommy. Okay. Can I have a kid book? Hello, read it to me.
No, Gemma, I'm working. You're supposed to be asleep. Gemma Jane, lay down.
Mama. Can you this one you're done walking?
You need to go to sleep before I'm done working.
You. I don't want
Hey,
to.
I have a question. I should know this, but if somebody, their Beachbody On Demand renews
how long do they have to call and like upgrade it to a challenge pack? Like if I had people that had 12-month renewals on like the 9th or the 10th.
I think it's 30 days, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Have they been
I'll go look.
using it?
Using their Beachbody On Demand?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they didn't return it.
Right.
So I'm tempted to message them and go, hey, like for $40 more, you just spent $115. You might as well get more Shakeology or Performance Line or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to make them jump through hoops if then they can't. So if you knew offhand, I just was curious.
Oh.
There's a form now. They don't even have to call,
There's a form.
I believe.
All right.
I don't know.
I'll just pretend I'm a owl.
I heard you pretending owl, but my friends are looking. We need to be quiet.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to send some invites for 10 minutes. So this is either people that you've already had conversations with or that you've been wanting to invite, and just make it simple. Say, you know, I have this new group starting up. I always try to aim to have something starting or like refocusing on like the second Monday of a month. So it would be on like the 11th, and say, I thought of you, and then just say why you thought of them. Would you be open to hearing more? So just make it pretty simple. It doesn't need to be anything big.
No, sure.
This is also really good to invite anybody that you specifically added to the flash sale. It's a great time to use those people to target it on because they're already interested.
We're doing follow-ups next too. So
Oh, just kidding. Those are for follow-ups.
you're so funny.
I'll just go to work.
You just go invite.
I'll go invite.
Have you gotten the March list of Beachbody on Demand renewals?
I don't think so.
It worked last time. I saw.
All right, now we are going to move up to follow-ups. So like Jacqueline wonderfully suggested, um, following up with people that you added to the flash sale and just say, hey, just wanted to connect and see if you saw anything you were interested in, that kind of stuff. And then people that maybe didn't respond, we like to call that ghosting you. When you invited them, go and follow up and just say, hey, I know how busy life is and how often I read a message and my kids need something and I put down the phone and I totally forget to respond. Just wanted to see if you were interested in joining me. Something like that. Or people that have told you no in the past, you could go and re-invite them. Say, hey, I know it wasn't a great time for you a couple months ago. Would you be open to joining me on the 11th this month? Something simple.
And old people that you're following up with too, like, hey, and then you're gonna save money because we're doing a flash sale.
Yeah.
Like they're always like that incentive or like that sense of urgency. Like I have 2 spots left for my group this month, and I know you were interested before. I'd love for you to have a spot, like something like that. Or sense of urgency creates like a purpose for them to do something now rather than wait.
Yes. All right, and then the last thing, like go to, I know all of you have had a call to action post lately. So go to that call to action post and send like 12 people on there just a thank you for like a private message thanking them for their support and love. Like it's not going to be an invite, but just thank them for supporting you on your post.
Hello? Hey, how are you?
All right. So that's it. So we just did a lot of work in 45 minutes. How did it go for you guys?
It went okay.
Okay. What went well or what was hard?
So for me, I didn't get through, like you said, like 10 people for certain things or whatever. People started responding, and I probably should have just waited to respond until the end. So I only would get to like halfway through, so get to 5, because then I'd start responding. And so I just didn't manage my time well.
Yeah, that's okay. And maybe that's okay. Maybe you're having good conversations. So
Yeah.
there's no like right or wrong on that. I typically just wait, like I get in a mode and then press a
Yeah,
button.
that's probably what I should have done. But yeah, other than that, how often do you do that?
Well, that's what I would, those like 4 or 5 activities would be what I recommend you do each day. And if you're
Okay.
struggling with time management, I would set a timer. So set a timer for 10 minutes. Do those things. And if you only get 7 people followed that day, then you only get 7 people followed. Like, but at
Yeah.
least you're doing something. Because I know what happens is we like go to work and it takes us a while to get organized, and then we get doing things and we like get lost, and then it's time to go, and we didn't really get done the things we needed to. So that's what we would say. Like, we kind of got away from calling it that, but a lot of people, if you'll hear them talk, it's like power hour, and that's what a power hour would be. So those are the activities I do every day. It just for me, they're not always in one chunk of time.
Yeah.
And you can use the tracker to help you navigate the time spent on each activity and what you're doing. They have that broken down really well with even like ideas of how much time to spend on that. So
yeah,
it's just fun to do it together sometimes, because you don't always know until you're like, oh, someone's telling me go do this right now.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot, actually.
I actually, Jacqueline, I haven't talked about it, but I want to kind of do that like once a month here. But we do sometimes set on for the next month to do them together. So.
Love it. I think it's really, really good for the team too.
Yeah, I found that it helped me stay focused, and like you just telling me what to do every 10 minutes, I didn't always get like as many messages or something out. Like I realized it actually made me more sad. My last 3 like call to actions, the only people that liked them were my husband and all my Beachbody coach friends. So I was like, wow, that's incredible.
It's pretty common.
Yeah, it is pretty common. Nicole, I was actually going to just encourage you on those. On your next like transformation post, try to not put a call to action to it, but just focus on being inspirational and motivational. Just focus on sharing your story, because that's a lot of times at the end, if somebody's expecting like the ask, whereas like if you're just putting it out there just to be encouraging, and then privately you're asking,
True.
that helps
Yeah,
a lot.
because it's not like posts generate that much anyways, I feel like, as far as like sales go.
Yeah, and I think as a whole, like, because you've been in this for like 2 years now too, so as a whole, like that used to be our main funnel of finding people and creating your list, but I don't think that the market is that anymore at all. So I think those transformation posts are still very important, but the call to action is not necessarily there. Like the attraction to it is not necessarily there anymore. So I would just use your stories the same. Idea. Like if you would have taken the last 4 call to actions that you did and just cut out the last like 2 sentences of join my group, and just left it at like, this has been so amazing for me. I didn't like, and just share a struggle and really go back to the struggle web, and share from the struggle web. Like that's what I tried to do yesterday with my before and after. It was like, let me just write a letter to my postpartum self, and talk
Yeah.
about how hard it was. And anybody who's a postpartum mom is going to relate to it. And that's what you want people to do when they're reading your post, is relate to your story, your struggle, and then cheer you on that you've overcome it. So
that's helpful. Cool.
And funny that you said that, because I have been trying not to as well. And my last two of my call to action ones, I'm kind of saving more for the coaching opportunity, and the boot camp ones not as much. I'll probably throw one in there like right before the 11th or something. But I had people like, then I just was sharing a struggle, and they were like, how can I do this? Like, they messaged me. And it's funny because like a lot of my past call to action ones have gotten no traction. And so it's interesting.
Yeah, it is funny. There's so many differences now from when I started coaching. And I think I'm like trying to like navigate through, like I was thinking to him, like, is there a correct time to post anymore? Or do you just do it when you do it because like you can't figure out the algorithm? Like,
go to your Instagram.
okay.
And go to your profile.
Okay. Gotta work on it. There we go. Just go to like my,
Yeah, your Instagram profile.
okay.
And then at the top right, there's the 3 bars.
Yeah.
And then go to Insights.
Is that under?
Oh, do you not have it as a business? Is that why?
I don't.
Okay. So mine tells me, you can't probably see it, but there's like that. It tells me the days that my posts get them, or that people, my followers, are most active. And then it also, under audience, it tells me the age range, the gender, and then the time of the day that my posts get the best. So for me, my 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is the most traction for me.
Okay, cool. So should I change my profile to a business? Like, is that the only benefit?
Well, I mean, at this point, because I'm a business and I have more than 10,000, I can link things, but
Yeah, it might not be necessarily worth it, or necessary, should I say.
but I think that piece is very helpful.
Yeah, that would be helpful for sure. Yeah,
I
Facebook
feel
is,
like
I don't know
stay-at-home
what happens on
moms,
there.
the best time to post for stay-at-home moms is either right away in the morning or during nap time.
That's when people are scrolling.
Well, if you think about it, and people are napping, that's when you're going to quick go to your phone to like decompress for the day.
Yeah.
True story.
But honestly, the algorithm for Instagram is all about your engagement with people.
That's what I heard yesterday in the video. I watched those videos that you sent me last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
it's all about you being a good follower to other people, and that's how they reward you. So if you're engaging with other people's posts and commenting on other posts, 4 words, then more people are likely to see your post.
4 words? That's funny.
4 words to count as a comment, not emojis.
Oh my goodness. Not emojis. All right, good to know.
That is good to
So
know.
usually like on a day, like, so I kind of just have been trying to like every couple hours go and like comment on like 10 or 15 people's posts, just so that I'm engaging throughout the day. Some days that doesn't happen. But I do notice a difference. On days that I'm not doing that, my posts don't get near as much traction. So.
Good to know.
I need to keep that in mind,
There's
because
so
I'm so
many
quick
little
to just look at the stories and then I bow out.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mel. I do the same thing.
I need to like roll
Do
like
story
we used to
comments
have
count?
to before stories were a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like you like commenting on people's stories though helps you too.
That helps. Okay.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
I
I do
do
comment
that.
on stories a lot.
But try like so that's the thing with it though is like that's why when I go to like follow people that's why I look for their stories because a lot of times that's what I do is I message them like I try to comment on their stories when I'm following them
Yes.
because otherwise my stories are usually the people that like I'm friends with. It's like
Yeah,
it's great and I want to see their life but it doesn't really help me like business wise.
for sure.
But that's all I had planned. Jacqueline, did you have anything else to add?
I did. There was 2 people that I talked to today, and I was following up with them, and both of them thanked me for being so persistent. And I just wanted to remind you guys, because it was such a good reminder for me, that one, my invitations to them were very genuine. So my persistence didn't come off to them as like bugging them or annoying them because I was just like, hey, come do this with me. I'd love to have you in my group. Like, I really want you. And so my invitations are always more about the person than it is the sale. And so when somebody knows that you want them to be a part of your group, it's not about the time. If the timing's not right, then they're going to come to you when the timing is right. And so the one girl, she just popped up in my inbox today on her own, and she was like, okay, I'm finally ready. Went into this long deal and then was like, thank you for being so persistent in asking me to be a part of it. I've probably asked her 5 times over the last year. And she's just been like I don't know, like a casting a net, like catching a fish, like just trying, just throwing it out there. And I didn't leave any weight on her responses ever because it was like, I just really like her and I really think she'd be so much fun in the challenge group. So my biggest encouragement is to make people feel like you're pursuing them and not a sale. And it's going to keep them coming back. It's going to keep them ready. And in their minds, they're going to think of you when they are ready to do it. So you're never begging people when you're inviting them. You're actually valuing them if you do it in the right way.
Yeah, good point.
That's it.
But I hope this was helpful. I know for me, when I was a new coach, it was helpful for me. It's like, what do they mean? Like, what should I be doing? And so that's really the daily activities. I try to do that 5 times a week. So
That was helpful. Thank you.
a little bit more. All right, have a good night.